Today I found out that I'm going to be picking third overall in a 12-team full PPR league. This is a league I really want to win. The last couple of years I've had the worst luck ever and I've done terribly, even though I've done great in basically all the other leagues I really care about. So I am out for revenge. I'm going to do about 5,000 different simulations of 12-team leagues where I pick third in full PPR. I won't record them all, don't worry, but this is going to be a very, very important one for me, and I can't wait for redemption. I am ready. So let's see what we got here. You have to imagine that Saquon and CMC are pretty much always going to go off the board first two. It doesn't really matter to me which of the three I get with them and Zeke. Now in full PPR, I mean, how tempting is Michael Thomas? But you can't get out of the first round without a running back this year. You just can't. It's just deadly otherwise. Alvin Kamara, great, but Zeke, I think you have to go with. But, you know, if Saquon's there, great. I don't think McCaffrey would ever be there, but if he was, awesome. That's still my number one, just like last year. All right, so let's go to the draft board, see what we got here. All right. Lamar and Kittle. That's interesting. You don't normally see those two go off without Mahomes and Kelsey going off. Kelsey's great, but I'm not that excited about him this year. Just he's getting older. He's fine, but especially in redraft. But I don't want to pick him in the second round, especially if you have a Nick Chubb on the board. So any of the stud running backs left, you have to take them. Mahomes is tempting, but even though he's better in real life, I think, than Lamar, or they're probably fairly close if Lamar can keep up his play. But Lamar is easily number one in fantasy. But I am not going to take one of the top quarterbacks or tight ends until the third round if I can really help it. Unless there's no one else I want, then maybe. But clear pick of Nick Chubb here. So Zeke and Chubb. There goes Kelsey. See, now no interest in any of those guys, like any of them. Singletary's the next one that catches my eye. So now we got to focus on other things. For tight ends, there's so many tight ends I like, really, especially late, like Hurst and Hooper. I don't care about Andrews. Great. I'd rather not take him quite this early. If he's here, that would be nice. Wide receivers. Juju, but I just don't like his ADP. Yeah, he could be a top guy again, but there's so many question marks there. DJ Moore everybody loves, but I looked at his stats from last year and he doesn't have those big league winning, or should I say week winning games that much. Maybe he will more this year, I don't know, but he's not my type of fantasy player. Most of these top ones aren't either. Look, honestly, it's Mahomes. If this is the situation, it's Mahomes. There's no one else I'm excited about. Take guys you're excited about. Get your guys. And if there's no one else you're excited about, if there's no wide receivers or running backs or tight ends really in that range, and Mahomes is sitting there, take Mahomes. Honestly, feel good about it, right? So, all right, and really, let's see who really went that I would have potentially liked, that I could have taken instead of Mahomes. Robert Woods, I would have liked to have had, and AJ Brown. So a couple receivers and receivers go on trees. You know, I'll be fine. And Mark Andrews still on the board. Now, since when, sorry, my nose is itchy. Since when is Ertz ahead of Mark Andrews? Nothing interesting there. There's some interesting stuff there, but you know what? Screw it. Let's just get Andrews. And now all of a sudden, I'm really good with one quarterback and one tight end. Now it's just running backs and wide receivers the rest of the draft, really. I'm fine with. Yeah, we're going. I like Chark and McLaurin, but let's go DJ Chark. I'm really excited to see him in garbage time this year. Boy, they're going to be such a bad team. He'll get so many points late. I'm really looking forward to that. All right, who else we got here? Now this is full PPR, keep in mind, so it really opens up some other stuff here. So I want Hunt, not just because he's a handcuff, but I want Kareem Hunt anytime in full PPR. But let's go Singletary, take a chance. Ooh, yeah, he's still there. So this is easily Singletary and then Hunt. Cam Akers was off the board at the 512. That doesn't usually happen, I don't think. That seems a bit early for him, but I mean, I think that's a good spot for him, but just he's been going later than I would expect. I think we'll see him move up in ADP throughout the summer as people realize what's going on there, that he's the new Gurley. All right, Singletary and Kareem Hunt. Hunt is so good when you have Chubb, like just an elite handcuff, an elite backup, an elite scat back as well, like just... And then, speaking of that, I'm not even looking at who else is available. Tariq Cohen in full PPR is a must draft. Okay, so now all of a sudden we're great. We've got 5 running backs, all of whom I would start anytime in full PPR. We've got an elite quarterback, the best real world quarterback or player. We've got Mark Andrews, who's going to be amazing. I mean, he was only at about a 40% snap share last year, and all the other top tight ends were at like 80 or 90. So if he even increases that a bit, I mean, he'll be through the roof. It's crazy. So Mark Andrews is a beautiful pick this year. So we've only got 1 receiver. So just our quantity of receivers is the only weakness we've got at the moment. So I still like Damian Williams because he's way too late. I mean, he should have won the Super Bowl MVP, so I wouldn't exactly write him off in favor of Edwards-Helaire just yet. So what do we got for wide receivers? Wow, see, this has gotten thin pretty quickly, hasn't it? Interesting. I kind of think Slayton will be the number 1, but how much do I want to bet on that? I'm shocked at how thin wide receivers gotten. I mean, I guess it is the 9th round, but I just wasn't saying no to these guys here. Wide receivers grow on trees, and you're going to be able to get some. There's going to be some guys you haven't even heard of that'll probably show up this year. All right, well, you know what? I don't want to lose out on Damian Williams. You can always get wide receiver depth later, but trying to get running back depth later is brutal. Boy. There's so many guys I like here for... Oh, and Tony Pollard is the one guy I only take as a handcuff. I don't take him unless I have Zeke. But we do have Zeke here, don't we? Jeez. I like Jerry Jeudy, but they've got 3 decent receivers there. It's very, very red flag filled offense there. Oof. This does not happen to me very often. I am not used to... I think I've been doing too many 10-team leagues, and that's my fault. One of the leagues I care about most, though, is a 10-teamer. And it's fun to make your team good, but if anything, you should go the other way and draft, work on your 12 teams. It's not a bad idea to do 14-team leagues if you're preparing for 12, or do 12 if you're preparing for 10s and just get really good. Oof. I don't remember very often feeling like wide receivers were tough to come by. But, look at this quality. Latavius, Madison, Pollard, Scott. I'm like an addict here. I can't say no to these guys. I don't want to say no to Madison, but I need Pollard. Jeez, running backs are like crack for me. I know it's a sickness, but it usually works out. So we just had 6 running backs in a row. So we got 8 running backs. Okay, running backs, I think we're done. Wide receivers. Now the good thing about here is if your league allows you to not take a kicker in a defense, you can just pick them up later, then just do that. Take guys for the summer. Like, wouldn't you rather have, Booker's kid or just any, like an Alexander Madison or someone like that for the summer in case the starter gets injured, instead of having your kicker in your defense? Who cares? Some sites like ESPN will make you take the kicker in the defense, but here they won't. So time to load up on wide receivers. I still don't trust in Keel Harry. Ugh. Mecole Hardman's great for a best ball. Interesting. I'll really have to work on this here. Paris Campbell, I love in the slot with Philip Rivers. Hate him to be my wide receiver too. But Hunter Renfrow, slot receiver for the Raiders, finished last year amazingly well. So again, this is full PPR. So if if you missed out on wide receivers or even running backs until late, you can, if you're shrewd, you can get some really good options with full PPR. I just don't trust Sammy Watkins at all. Anything else worth looking at? No. Quarterbacks in single QB leagues really grow on trees. Any of those guys are fine almost. Well, not Baker, but whatever. All right, tight end worth getting. It's just wide receivers. Man. Alan Lazard. What are the chances? Let's go with James Washington. He could be a great deep threat for Ben. Who else we got here? Cole Beasley in the slot. Well, I know what I need to work on for sure here. I need to work on not waiting too late to get receivers. Never thought I'd say that. In 12-team leagues. Interesting. Yeah, because there's not too much exciting here. How far down do we have to go? Boy, you know what? I love Steven Sims this year. He finished the last 3 weeks last year just fantastic. He's a burner. He's a great player. Helped me win a couple leagues. Steven Sims was a great pickup for me. All right. KJ Hamler in the slot could be good. Like when you get to the last couple rounds of the draft, you don't, like, ADP's out the window. Just take whoever you want, obviously. You know what? I honestly... KJ Hamler, Demarcus Robinson, anyone in the Chiefs offense. I'm going to say... Didn't I see someone else there? Miles Boykin with Lamar. Let's go Hamler. Really focus on some slot receivers with full PPR there, so B grade. Yeah, so probably, but I mean, it's so tough to say no to these depth guys. Like, look at this running back depth. Zeke and Chubb with both their handcuffs and just some, look at these PPR darlings. Hunt, Cohen, man. All right, well, I've got some work to do for sure. But anyway, that's a 12-team full PPR draft on FantasyPros from the number 3 position. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something about what you have to watch out for. And we will see you later. Take care.